Okay, finally, I got this to work. Hey, a lot of technical difficulties this morning, but I think we're up and running. It is Thursday, 6:22, about 10:30 a.m. my time, Pacific time. We got a Godless Engineer here who has his own channel on YouTube and just recently joined the Great Debate community. And he's going to talk a little bit about his channel on his lunch break. So he's got about an hour and a half to kill. So we're not going to keep him longer because we don't want him losing his job. But hey, welcome. And by the way, he has said it is okay to use his first name. So I'm not doxing him, but I'm just going to call him John if that's okay. Hi, John.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's fine. Hi.
So I've watched a few of your videos. Your videos generally deal with a lot of theistic, anti-theistic arguments and morality and all this other stuff. And I know you're heavily into science and computer programming. You were telling me, but what is your channel? I mean, I mean, you got pretty good subscriber base. Do you got pushing 10,000 subs?
Well, yeah. I've got a pretty good number. I think I'm about 200 or so away from 10,000. So. And that's been me really working at it for the past like year and a half or so. So I mean, compared to a lot of other people, I guess I'm not really all growing all that fast, but yeah, I've got a good number of subscribers there. And then mainly on Facebook though, is where I have my biggest base, I guess, as far as people that follow me, because I think we've got about 128,000 people on there that like to 200 or so away from 10,000 posts. So
wow, that's quite significant.
It's pretty good, pretty big group of people, I guess.
Now, I referred to you in my video description as a atheistic crusader, which I say in jest. I know a lot of people, they espouse atheism, and they like to talk to have about atheism and theological discussions. But I mean, you don't really push atheism as far as like a militant thing, right? I mean, I've watched some of your stuff. You just seem like engage in conversations like the rest of us.
Well, yeah, pretty much. I mean, here in the past, like I would say, couple of months, I've really just been doing a lot of conversations with people, and mainly they've been conversations with people that are on the opposite side of a topic, so it makes it interesting. But I do have a few like interviews coming up where I actually interview other atheists. So I mean, I have those things. I have some like I guess debates almost planned, or rather discussions. I recently posted up a video responding to that Benjamin Rice guy that did the whole "I don't believe in atheists," and he holds up a cauliflower saying "This is my great granddaddy" or something like that.
The straw man version of evolution.
Huh?
The straw man version of evolution and phylogeny.
Yeah, exactly. So I've got a conversation with him coming up that I'm going to record. I have, have you seen those billboards? That's the 18554 truth. You know what I'm talking about?
I've seen some billboards that say something like, either you're going to heaven or go to hell or something like that.
Yeah, and they have a phone number.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, those are the ones I've seen. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I called in like about 2 weeks ago, I think, and I had a conversation with somebody on the other side of that, and I recorded it, and I'm going to be putting it up on the channel. So, I mean, I try to engage in a lot of discussion, and I also try to provide like response videos, but those are mainly for more like entertainment purposes rather than like an actual breakdown of it. Like I try to actually refute the stuff in it, but I mainly just try to bring some lightheartedness to the situation, I guess.
Yeah, it's often difficult when you have, like, see, my personal, I'm a temporal agnostic, right? So I mean, I understand the arguments quite well, both the theistic and the atheistic ones, and there's some arguments that are like more worthy of discussion than others. When you have somebody that has these straw man versions of like evolution saying, oh, you think your granddad is a turnip or something, it just makes no sense. It's not worth arguing with or discussing with those types of people, because they're not on a caliber or level where you're going to have any kind of rational discourse, right? I call them the fruit on the ground creationist.
Right. I know one of the more difficult ones that I actually recently had was with this guy named Josh Noriega from Christian Sophistry, and he claims to be a lowercase y young Earth creationist. He explains that by saying that he just really approaches it as like a fun discussion. Like I really don't know if he actually thinks that the world is 6,000 years old, but as far as debating and everything like that, he takes the creationist side and he tries to prove the creationist side to be true. But I really don't know what he actually believes about, like, the origins of everything.
We call them age Earth skeptics. It's like people that hang on, theory. It's like people that advocate for flat Earth. They don't want to actually advocate flat Earth. They call themselves ball skeptics. Yeah, it's so goddamn stupid. Yeah. But hey, theories, welcome. Your mic is crap again.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, cell phone, rain.
Yeah, it's better than usual. But anyways, yeah, the link to join is in the video description. Anybody come on in, come join us. Like I said, we got about an hour to kill. I wanted to get John in here because, like I said, John's a recent member of the GDC. He is a content provider. Well, he does modicum amount of content to the internet. And you know, I wanted to. I wanted to make this wiki page stuff, so I wanted to get to know him a little bit so we can actually try to make some bio for him and some other people, because we got hundreds of pages to make people. I've already started creating at least several dozen of them, but I need people's help. So feel free to listen in, and if you get some information you think you can get from John to make his bio. But here's the thing, remember, the bio, one, you can't make your own bio, and two, you got to be witty and creative. These are not to be taken that seriously, right? You know, so... But they're going to be epic when they're done.
I was going to say that is I've met several Christians over the years that their argument between evolution and creationism is that God made those people and early humans so that they would evolve into us.
Yeah, that's a theistic evolutionist argument. I mean, that's something that's going to be espoused by people like Hugh Ross. He believes that, you know, evolution to a point, but then he believes at a certain point there was an ensoulment of you know, hominids, and that created the Homo sapien race, or not race, but a lineage, right? So I don't know how you would ever falsify that or even, you know, try to demonstrate that, but that's their belief system.
Well, my point is, they sound more like ancient alien believers than they do Christians at that point.
Yeah, it's a little bit out there, but you know, it's still not as at least they're theistic evolutionists, right? It's not the same as people that believe the Earth is 7,000 years old, because I mean that's a whole different level of dumb fuckery to me. It really is.
Well, I actually came across a video the other day where a woman was claiming that atheists or scientists think that panspermia is the way that life was seeded on Earth or whatnot. And she jumps from that to being like, basically, ancient aliens. They think ancient aliens came to Earth and seeded it with life and controlled our society. Like, I'm just sitting there like, where the fuck did she get this? Did she understand what
panspermia is? Yeah, that's wow. Yeah, you know, panspermia probably had played a part, but you know, no matter what, it's still billions of years old, right? They need to recognize that first. That's a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, you would think that they would, but I mean, they come up with the wildest explanations for like geological time scales and all this other stuff. I mean, they try to cast doubt on like radiometric dating and all these other things, and it's to me, like for instance, I was watching this Is Genesis History movie that's recently been put on Netflix, and it's just pathetic throughout the whole thing, because they're just like, no, actually, you know, all of these layers could have been laid down all at one time. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, have you not seen how like rivers work and things? But you know, they always end up hovending, like, you know, what KC talked about in his debate with Kent Hovind, is that they'll say, well, things worked differently back then, and it's just it just
but isn't that a special pleading?
It is.
Yeah, I mean, Ken Hovind, who, I mean, we've all dealt with for a very long time. I have videos going back with me engaging him a long time. And he has the same shtick that he's used for decades, right? But he has a thing called creation science, right? And that's supposed to be literally creation science, right? It's supposed to take out the God did it part of the equation. And the debate the other day, he literally went back into this, oh, well, God gave it the appearance of age. Well, that takes it out of science at that point, because that's a non-testable, unfalsifiable conjecture. And I've heard that he's done that before. I think that's the first time I've heard him do it. Now, I might be wrong. I might just misremembering. But other people have said he's actually had that position for quite some time. So, but I thought that was kind of odd myself.
Yeah, I just happened to come in and catch y'all. My voice is still shot.
You sound like shit.
The older theistic evolutionists, they're a lot more reasonable about stuff because I mean they don't have to try to throw out all the other sciences to explain 6,000 years. You know, I mean it's like, you know, okay, well, you know, God may well have started the ball rolling and used evolution and everything as his tool for everything. That's far more reasonable than trying to cram everything into just 6,000 years.
Well, isn't it kind of odd when you have, you know, something called creation science, and then you literally have to discount every branch of science, right? And then they say, "Oh, we love science." Yeah.
There is no branch of science that agrees with anything you say.
John, do you?
As far as I know.
John, do you focus more on what aspect do you like the most? Do you like the morality arguments? Do you like the scientific arguments? Do you like the argument for God, ontological or transcendental? Which kalam? What do you like to argue the most about? Your area of expertise and specialty.
Well, I guess it's. I don't know how to describe it. I guess I focus more on the science. Like I find the science aspect of it to be like where I like to really attack it, because I mean you have verified, you know, facts and whatnot that can support your position. What I find the most intriguing though is more theological things, and I guess the more ontological and kalam, and all those other morality. Like I love those kind of discussions. Because it really is more of a you know, I guess it's a more of a difference from like reality, I guess. Maybe I don't really know. I don't think I'm explaining this right. It just seems to be a much better discussion talking about like ontological kalam and all that, morality. It just seems to be a more interesting discussion to me. I guess a specialty area I would say is mythicism. I'm pretty well read in like mythicist and just the historicity of you know, biblical stories and literature and all that kind of stuff. That's where I've been focusing most of my efforts in most recently.
Yeah, those are the kind of conversations I think have some kind of merit or at least potential. I mean, here's the thing. I don't believe you're never going to be able to demonstrate God's existence or not. I don't think that question is answerable. That's just my personal belief, right? But if you're going to do so, it's going to be on some kind of arguments like that. Those are the arguments we're talking about. These scientific arguments are never going to prove or disprove God. All they're meant to do is show people that the people advocating these positions, promoting horrible science, like with creationism or flat earth, they're just demonstrably wrong. Right. And if they're going to be wrong on that, then any other argument they have, I'm going to question. I'm going to say that these people probably don't have critical thinking skills to have an actual argument, and therefore I'm not going to really place much value in any of the theological arguments they make. Now, that might be a fallacy, right? It might be somebody could levy against me saying, well, if they're shitty at one thing, maybe they're not shitty in another. That's true. But viscerally, I have to go by, look at, if they're going to have such inept understanding of science where they think the earth is flat or 7,000 years old, do I really trust what they have to say about an ontological argument or something? I mean, am I being a dick? Yeah, I mean, go ahead and tell me, John, if I think I'm being a dick on that, but
Well, no. I don't think that you're being a dick at all. I mean, to me, it sounds really, it sounds really ridiculous that they would expect me to take their, their opinions at a higher regard than what, actual nature and science can prove to us. But I mean, I think that really plays into the how special that a lot of religious people feel, because they feel really special because their God is a personal God. Their God works wonders in their lives and all this other stuff. Like, God is this some kind of big powerful thing, and so it's like it really doesn't make them question anything when it's like, oh yeah, God created everything in the universe in like a millisecond, but the fucker took 6 days in order to create the earth. and apparently the earth is so perfectly designed, but most of the earth is covered in water, which we can't live in. We drown. Then the rest of the continents are filled with predators and parasites and all this other stuff. It really does just seem like God set up like a god tier Hunger Games at that point, and he's watching the drama unfold. It's like, look, I told them to go and kill gay people, and now they're going and killing gay people. Look at that, guys.
With all the shit out there that's able to kill us, let's imagine, it's a hard to, or I should say, it's difficult not to think that we should be extinct by now. I mean, if you think about it, the Earth is not really conducive to us. I mean, with the volcanoes and hurricanes and flooding and earthquakes, and I mean, we're now technologically able to survive, and we've expanded out. But years ago, I don't know how the human race even survived. I just don't. We didn't, I'm amazed that these people back then were able to even learn things like cultivation and agriculture. It's an amazing thing, but I don't really think a deity per se had a hand in that. I don't know. Again, I'm an agnostic, right? But it is interesting to think that this planet, yeah, it kind of sucks for us. I mean, if you wanted to design a planet for human or for a species, we could have been a bacteria or something, right? Because bacteria love our planet, right? I mean, that's the most successful species of all time. Well, they're not species, but kingdom of all time. So.
Well, here's my point with the Christian
domain.
stuff.
Sorry, domain.
Going on.
Let me correct that. Domain. Yeah, they're not kingdom. Yeah, domain. It's one of 3 domains. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Theory. Sorry, I had to correct that before somebody noted that. Yeah, it's not a kingdom. It's an animal kingdom, plant kingdom. I know that. Thank you. I just fucked up.
No, all I was going to say is, look at how many times the Judeo-Christian Bible has been rewritten. On top of the fact that how many people actually don't know the fact that Lilith is mentioned in other forms of the Bible as being Adam's first wife. And people go, it's Adam and Eve, it's Adam and Eve. Well, last time I knew, if you check into any of your own religion, there was actually someone before Eve.
Yeah, there was a predated mythos of the creation story with Lilith, right? In the Jewish, I don't know what you even call it. What is it? Jewish mystics or Gnostics? What are they called?
Gnostic Gospels?
Gnostic, yeah, I guess the Gnostic Gospels, where they talk about a completely different or events of how things came to be, and I guess Adam got sick of something with Lilith, and she became a demon, and then I don't know.
The actual written part of it that I have seen is the whole thing. The sin of Lilith is she wanted to be on top during sex.
Didn't know that was a sin.
How dare she want to ride the cock?
Exactly.
So
she knew the secret name of God and flew away from the garden or something.
So John, who have you like?
It was from Babylonian stuff, I think, where she came from originally.
Babylonian mythos. It could be. I don't follow it, to be honest with you. But John, who have you engaged with that you think was the most challenging for you? I mean, we all like to debate, right? We all like to have some some people that challenge us. Obviously, you watched Casey and Hoven's debate the other day. There's another one tomorrow with Christian Anarchist and a guy named Marshall Mathers, not Eminem, so don't get all excited. But
I would rock that name. I would be like, yeah, I'm Eminem, the other Eminem.
I've already had people ask me, they're like, wait, did you get Eminem? I'm like, fuck, no, I wish, but no. But I think Eminem would love these debate shit. Go forward this shit to him. Go ahead.
Well, I think the most challenging ones have been on the mythicist question. I actually just finished up hosting a conversation between me and Matt Kovacs, which Matt is actually an atheist, but he falls on the other side of the historical Jesus question. Like he feels that Jesus was historical. He thinks that's more probable. Whereas I'm on the other side of it. I feel like he's mythical, and he was always mythical. Just people later on assumed that he walked the earth, kind of thing. Most challenging debates, only because it really tasks you to, get deeper into like the history of Christianity and Judaism, and really look at the anthropological stuff around the first century. Like you have to really be able to grasp like a whole lot of information in order to really argue the points. That's been my most difficult, like as far as opposition, are the people on the other side. Now there are some like Christians that are on the opposite side, of course, but those are relatively easy because they argue for like the actual biblical Jesus, and that version of Jesus is really easy to take down. And it gets harder when you start arguing with someone that like either is an atheist or maybe a Christian, but they think that it's like a minimal historicity kind of Jesus, being that, oh, he was an apocalyptic preacher that just sort of walked around Judea and then was crucified by the Romans or something. Like he wasn't all that well known and all these other things. And I mean, I could talk for hours
well, are you a mythicist?
about all of that, all of those subjects, but those seem to be the most like difficult, are the minimal historicity kind of debates or arguments.
But I mean, when it comes to the historicity of Jesus, I mean, are you a mythicist? Do you think that he actually existed in a physical form, whether it be the Son of God or not? I mean, but did some man named Jesus that the Christianity belief system had been developed upon or from?
No, I don't think that there was an actual central figure that started it all. To say that there was no Jesus in the first century would be false, because of course there were Jesuses. It was a common name. But as far as the central figure to Christianity, I don't think that there was a central figure. I think there's enough evidence to suggest that there was an amalgam of different versions of Christianity that were going around, and that eventually it kind of coalesced or evolved into the mainstream Christianity that we see today.
See, Floyd F.P., I believe at one time, I think he was a mythicist. He's an atheist. He's a biblical scholar of sorts that is in the GDC. He, I believe, started off as a mythicist. Then he eventually reached the point where he's like, that Jesus at least exists, or some, like you said, central figure that was the foundation, whether he was a prophet or preacher or just a man that they decided to make a story about. I have no idea what his position is. But General Han Solo is a theist in our community. He's well versed in the historicity of Jesus. I would like to see you guys actually have a discussion one of these days, maybe, because General Han Solo would definitely give you an interesting discussion, to say the least. By the way, hi, General.
I'd more than welcome it. I learned a lot from my conversation with Matt, because I kind of lost my cool in it with Matt, but I've since become better of a debater, or just in general, having those kind of discussions. Oh,
I've been corrected by Floyd FP. He says he still leans toward mythicism. Okay. Oh, look who we got in here. Hang on. We got somebody coming in here. We got to say hi to real quick, if that's okay. Hang on. Look at this motherfucker that just joined us. Goddamn fat Pimpmunkx. Do you guys know each other, Pimp? You guys know each other, John?
Yeah, I know Pimpmunkx.
Okay, I figured as much.
I don't know that motherfucker.
You don't know anybody. He disowns people. Pimpmunkx like, yeah, I don't know the motherfucker, man. That's okay.
I don't know John Gleason. No, I do know John. Me, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, me and him's known each other for quite a while. Actually.
Is he a pretty righteous guy? Because we're just starting to get to know John, right? I mean, he's relatively new to the GDC.
He's a faggot.
Oh, yeah. Hey, there you go. Hey, people making his bio. Well, there you go. There you go. They're gonna add something. Pimp Mom thinks he's a faggot. There you go.
That should be a quote that's in there somewhere. He's a faggot.
Well, I mean, I can start flirting now.
I want to fuck your beard, bro. I ain't gonna lie, man.
Isn't that gorgeous? Doesn't he have a really awesome beard?
He does. I bet he has a penis. It's pretty awesome too.
Off air, he might be able to show you. I don't know. He likes bears. Hey,
look here, y'all was having this intelligent conversation.
I know you come in and fuck it all up. See, this is what you get when Pimpmunkx drops in. Hey, Heavy, you like bears though, don't you? Yeah. So I mean, is Pimpmunkx a bear?
I'm the ultimate fucking bear.
Yeah, I mean, I would think he is. I mean, again, I don't know what qualifies as much, but I'm not the expert on that.
And he's chubby too. That's an extra point.
Yeah, I ain't chubby. Look, I'm fat.
Now, you said, though, Pimp, weren't you supposed to go on a diet or something? I know you started to quit smoking.
I am on a diet.
I am proud of you, by the way.
Yeah, I am trying to quit. I got a paper, but I'm out of juice, so I'm actually puffing on one right now. So.
Well, I am proud of you. Pimp, if you guys don't know, Pimpmunkx has actually gone from 3 packs a day to about a half a pack.
Yeah.
So let's give him some props for that.
And I've lost about 50 pounds also. So.
Seriously? Wow.
Yeah.
I can't tell. You still look fat to me, but that's okay. I mean, it's a work in progress. Crusader, which I say in jest.
You still look like a faggot to me, so it's okay.
Did you guys? You haven't read my bio on Great Debate Community yet, have you? According to peer review, I'm gay, so it's okay. That's the latest.
Oh, really? You are gay?
Well, no. According to peer review.
How many penises?
No. I mean, I live under the motto: if you suck a dick once, you're not really a cocksucker. So, it's only one time.
Well, it's not. You're never gay unless you swallow the jizz.
See, John, this is what happens. This is what happens when Pimpmunkx comes in, right? The whole dynamic changes.
And if you fuck a dude, just jump up and yell Jean-Claude Van Damme, and you're immediately straight again.
Sounds like we need to really work on the definition of gay and stuff,
I think everybody's gay.
Oh, not another definitional argument.
Just don't eat no cake.
Yeah, we already had that with atheism.
Don't eat
Remember?
cake. Okay.
So hey, Pimp, I'm gonna get
intelligent conversation.
I'm glad you dropped in. I'm gonna get back to my guest here, Godless Engineer.
Fuck your guest. I'm your guest.
Because he's special.
I'm your
No, dude, you were gonna have your own fucking time to come in. You kept blowing my ass off.
I kept blowing you.
You kept blowing me. Get that on the soundboard, pew of you.
Yeah. I keep my appointments there, Pimpmunkx.
I don't.
He did too. Motherfucker actually out of the blue on Facebook was like, "Hey Steve, you still want to do this on Thursday?" I'm like, "Hey, there you go."
Well, because Gleason's a better man than me.
Women are better men than you.
Yes, this is true. Why are you insulting me, man? That's not a way to get me to be a guest. Goddamn. You're supposed to wash my balls.
Oh, I'm not a ball licker, man. That's what we have, like G-Man and Antonio Fletcher and True Prism. Those guys are ball washers. But I am sitting.
G-Man's black, so.
Well, so's Dragnot.
I love the G-Man video you shared there, Steve.
I don't know who the other person is, so.
Well, the video where I was trying to explain to G-Man basic phylogeny that dogs don't have non-dogs.
Yeah.
He's so confused on that.
Well,
yeah.
Well, I mean, he reduces it to, oh, you're gonna ask an evolutionist that where did timber wolves come from? They come from other timber wolves, and he does kind of an ad infinitum. They only come from timber wolves. as if to support some kind of idea that just the small changes exist and not macroevolution. But you know, like after I saw that video, I did a simple Google search for evolution of dogs, and I was able to find like an educational web page about the evolution of dogs and how they, you know, they're part of the carnivores, the actual what is it?
Yeah, that's like what's it called?
Canaan?
No, it's for carnivores. Carnivoria.
Well, yeah, there's carnivores, and then below that they have different separate ones, and one of them is not canine, but
well, Nestle here is our evolutionary biology guy. He knows all the different taxonomic levels, but his mic's not working right now.
Oh. But
yeah, cuneiforms. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Cuneiforms and feliforms. Thank you, Nestle.
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, see, G-Man thinks that he doesn't understand, and Hovind has the same density in his mind that he can't get past this conceptual issue, and I think they do it on purpose anymore. I don't believe that they even want to understand this. Actually, I believe they don't even want to understand this. But basically, they don't understand that a dog can come from a non-dog, but a non-dog can't come from a dog, right? Because just like, you know, we're still eukaryotes, right? We were still mammals, right? So anything predecessors to ours have those traits. So anything that has comes from us will have those traits, and they'll still be human. So anything that a dog came from, a dog is still that. Dogs is still a wolf. A dog is still a mammal. They don't understand how a nested hierarchy works.
Well, you can't expect them to understand that. They believe that there was a guy who lived in the belly of a fucking fish. I mean, seriously,
true, right?
You can't really expect them to. I mean, yeah, I know that sounds like an asshole for me saying that, but it's just true.
And by the way, believe it or not, yeah, technically speaking, a whale is a fish if you're going from a monophyletic clade, right, Nestle? But it's because it's a paraphyletic clade. It's not.
I used to say whale, and everybody's like, there was not a whale, it was a big fish. And I'm like,
it's a big fish. Yeah, lived in the belly of a great white shark. That's going to happen.
Yeah.
But thank you for watching that, by the way, John. I'm glad you liked that video. It's actually it was my most popular one. But
I'm John too, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I know you're John too.
Huh?
We got two Johns in here. That's gonna be confusing. So, but I'm just call you Pimp John.
Pimp John.
Yeah, Pimp John.
Pimp looks fine.
All right.
John Gleason's the only one that can carry the John name with pride and honor.
Well, who's
not worthy?
Yeah, but you're older, Pimp, so you had it first, didn't you?
No, he's 53 years old.
Well, actually, most people call me Gleason, just because John is
so popular.
The general name of like every.
Yeah, I used to call him Gleason. Yeah. By the way, me and Gleason used to actually do a lot of stuff together. We did streams together. We hung out at a PastaCon and stuff like that. So, I mean, this dude's great. I'll be honest with you. I just want to give him a little fucking shout out because he's a great fucking guy. I mean, he may come off as a dick sometimes, but we all do. But he's a very kind-hearted, genuine person. I'll give him that.
Thank you. And I do try to be like, I know that I'm a dick on my response videos, but that's because they're for entertainment.
Yeah, exactly.
People don't there's a group of people out there that do like the rational responses, but then there's a group that just watch these videos that I respond to and they just laugh hysterically at them because they're so fucking dumb. And so I guess I'm more in that group of just watching these videos and laughing my ass off at it. Like the cauliflower guy, Benjamin Rice. Apparently he showed my video to his coworkers, and they were all like, "Man, we're atheists and we don't even act like this asshole right here." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's me, asshole."
Well, you know, when you have a larger audience base, and mine's nowhere near the levels of your guys' yet, but after you guys put shout-outs to my channel and the Great Debate, that might change, because, you know, Casey is, and I think hopefully Creationist Cat might hear eventually, but But you know, when you have a large audience, you got to cater to a lot of different things. Some people like the shit talking, some people like the humor, some people like the actual scientific discussions. There is no one size fits all. I found out. And when people say, you know, well, you know, your channel needs to fill a niche. Well, I get that. And certain channels do that. Like Holy Kool-Aid, love his channel. He gets more of the philosophy and really high end production stuff and logic, you know, and those guys. My channel is just all over the place because I want it to be all over the place. I want it to be something where, you know, I have the shit talking, and I also have, you know, very eminent scientists come in, like Dr. Hugh Ross will come in, and you know, Mary Schweitzer will come in. So, and Arn Ra, yeah. So yeah, thank you, Pimp. I got Pimp approval. Go ahead, Pimp.
Well, I mean, that's the kind of guy I am. I do everything. Fuck, dude, I have Landon Knoll, who's one of the smartest men on the fucking planet.
He is, isn't he? Fucking
you know, yeah. Dude, I mean, he's, and look, whether you like this guy or not, I love him. But Galen Halcyon, who's one of the most philosophical motherfuckers you'll ever meet. And then I have me, which is pure fucking ignorant. No, I'm not ignorant, but I'm stupid.
Do you, Landon, ever get into philosophical or in-depth discussions? Because I agree with you. I think Landon is like one of the guy is beyond freaking smart, right? And he's just nice as hell.
I do it all the time. But believe it or not, I am not a moron. So yeah,
believe it or not. Contrary to what YouTube thinks, Pimpmunkx is not a moron.
Oh no, dude! I've gotten some heavy ass fucking discussions with Landon and Galen and all kinds of people. I mean, I was recently in California hanging out with Landon. So
are you going to go watch the eclipse with him?
I'm not going to be watching it with him, but I will actually be in South Carolina twice in August. But the second time is to watch the eclipse.
Yeah, I would have loved it.
Cool.
Could you guys imagine being with Landon, Kurt, and Noel watching the eclipse? You know, and I mean, so many telescopes they would be having there, and yeah, I don't know, it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
The eclipse was real and not a NASA conspiracy theory. You fucking idiot.
Well, I think it's a hologram, but who knows? You know.
I think it's just a conspiracy to make us look up.
Wait a minute, a hologram casting shadows?
Dude,
Seriously?
Arcane Logos thinks that when you take a telescope, even if you build one yourself and you point it at Saturn, even the cardboard tube has a chip in it that produces a hologram. Because it's not really up there.
Of course it does.
Oh man, they're pumping it right into your brain.
Yeah, that's what I believe. I believe it's just, you know, the cell towers just beam it directly into your head, and that's why you see it. You know, that seems more rational to me, right?
Repeating stupidity into our heads.
Yeah, Glaze, let me tell you, you don't know the dumb fucker we've seen around here. It is of epic proportions. Do you know Arcane Logos?
The Ark of the Covenant is a nuclear power source or some kind of fantastic energy source.
That God used. Yeah, that God used to part the Red Sea.
Fantastic, I love that.
And he believes that birds fly because of fart propulsion.
Well, that's reasonable.
It wasn't a fart?
Yeah, no, they suck in air and they fart it out, and that's how they fly. That gives them the lift. The wings just kind of like I use for guidance. All right, Pimpmunkx, thanks for dropping by, buddy. Put a shout out to my channel, and I'll put a shout out to yours. Go subscribe to Pimpmunkx. I'll put his link in his video description. He needs the money. He's almost as poor as I am, so.
Yeah, and make sure you unsubscribe to this channel.
There you go. Yeah.
I'll see you guys later.
Help a guy.
Oh, hey, Pimp, before you leave me. Oh, no, he left. I'll just tell him later. No. But go ahead.
Another man has left you.
Yeah, another man's left me. I've had so many men leave me. I'm like, do I? Yeah, no, well.
Hey, I just want to comment on your comment section. There are a bunch of lunatics in there.
I have kind of been ignoring the comments section. I guess I should look at it since we have all these people fucking watching. What's going on in the comment section?
I've actually responded. I've responded to one guy on the flat Earth deal. Well, I responded to several, but one guy, instead of like his whole like moon and sun like eclipse kind of theory, like instead of it like instead of him trashing that because it doesn't match what he observes in reality, he invents a whole other planetoid body that like descends upon the Earth just to do an eclipse and then leaves. Like I was floored by that when
Does he have a name for it? Does he have a name for the body?
No,
the entity?
No, it was just extra planetoid body comes down and And like in my video, I'm like, oh shit, I had no idea that planet Earth was the destination for aliens to come and lounge around and vacation. Like,
yeah, man, they got intergalactic brochures, man. We're like a hot spot.
This is the last stop, like when you're in the desert, the next stop, last gas station. That's what we are in the galaxy, in the universe. People stop here to get Cheetos.
See, I disagree. I actually think that aliens have put this planet on quarantine.
Oh, hell.
You know, they watched one of G-Man's videos and said, "Fuck that! Nobody's there. No, none of us should go to that planet." No.
We haven't even investigated the bottom of the oceans very well yet. We can't be. I don't know what they expect from us.
We're just barely coming out of the primordial soup kind of thing. Which, by the way, no, I don't believe. It was like, oh well, you guys believe that you guys came from pond scum. No, I don't. So.
No, it's the lightning that hit the pond scum we came from.
No, the lightning is where we got all the heavier elements from, man. What you talking about?
Yeah, lightning created uranium, remember? According to Steve Brown.
We know that crawled out of the soup. Lawyers. I said we know what crawled out of the soup first. It was lawyers.
There you go. Are there any lawyers in the house?
MP's not here, but he usually is.
Oh yeah, MP's a lawyer. I forgot about that. He's a gangster lawyer.
So Gleason, we got to get you in here more often when we have the actual theological discussions. I like to see the argumentations between both sides. Now, again, I am a atheist when I am online. I don't care whether God exists or not, so much as who's giving me the better argument for or against, right?
Right.
So I do agree that I find atheist arguments to be marginally better, like divine hiddenness and the argument from evil, that kind of stuff. They're hard things to get around, but I don't get into the whole morality stuff that much. To me, look, I have morals. Where I got them from, fuck, I don't care. But I'm subjective. I believe in descriptive moral relativism, so that's fine with that. Theories, what the hell are you sucking on, dude? Your gas mask needs a new filter.
That was good.
That picture, let's see. There is no filter on that one.
Well, you see, the morality argument to me is quite interesting because, like, if you take an objective look at Christianity, like as far as it spans across timeline or across time, you find that the morality that is supposedly so objective in the Bible changes, throughout time. And so it's always hilarious to me how Christians now can say, oh, there's objective morality in the Bible because these things are wrong, and the Bible says these things are wrong. Like, it sounds so profoundly stupid to me to be like, oh, hey, look, confirmation bias is over there. Let me go pick it up and put it on my shelf.
See, I'm not against the existence of objective morality. What I believe is I don't think you have to have a deity to have objective morality. And I think that's where
morality
a lot of the theists...
changes per century.
I'm sorry, what?
Sorry. I said morality technically changes per century.
Well, but that doesn't change the fact there could be objective morality. I think Ozzy has an argument for objective morality, but objective morality doesn't inherently imply a theistic God or something like that. It's not required to have objective morality. So if somebody demonstrates objective morality with a logical proof, okay, fine, I accept that. That's great. I believe that.
And what would that even look like, right?
Well, like I said, Ozzy has something that he uses for that, and Floyd might as well. I'm not sure. General, do you?
Well, I mean, Sam Harris has a pretty good argument. But I mean, he really just, I guess, better defines what objective morality is. Instead of it being like objective morality as defined by the Bible, it's objective morality that promotes the flourishing of conscious creatures or sentient beings or something like that. So, I mean, I think it depends on how you define objective morality. But as far as like in the conversation between a Christian and between an atheist or anybody else that's not Christian, or Muslim or any of these monotheistic religions, I think it's you have to focus on them having the objective truth and only like them as far as their God goes having that objective truth. And when you compare it that way, instead of redefining it, you can attack it and say, well, no, there's relativistic morality because of all these changes across the ages. And so, I mean, that's kind of the tactic that I go with for that.
That's also subjective, too, because I know a lot of Christians marijuana is a bad thing in the Bible, but I know several Christians who need medical marijuana will look you flat in the face and tell you you're going to hell.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, but those are the kind of categories that I put in the nutters, right? Because I have so many people I deal with, and I literally, you guys don't even know how much time I spend just doing stuff on the internet, like getting people to come in and engaging with people and going to the forums and G+, writing the wiki. I mean, my time is definitely consumed. I don't have time for the fruit on the ground creationist. That's why I made like the videos on fruit on the ground creationist, because I don't want to deal with people that have such shitty arguments that they're not even worth having a discussion with. And when I find a person's a nutter, you know, where they're just absolute batshit and say things like that, I have no intention of carrying on a very long conversation with them.
Yeah, that's rum and coke night.
That's rum and coke night.
Take care of them on a rum and coke night.
Yeah. Oh, Gleason, you got to come by on a rum and coke night, dude.
Oh yeah, they're fun.
Oh God, we have fun. All we do is basically get drunk off rum and coke, or beer sometimes, and talk shit and go troll flat earthers in their live chats.
It's great.
It is
it's like
epic.
A sport. It's like fishing.
We see how long it takes for us to get timed out and banned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I figure they troll us, so might as well return the favor every so often, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I really do want to get more into these kind of discussions. So, I mean, I'm definitely up for it. It's just with my schedule, because most days I'm available, but like, I have a son. I get him every other weekend, and then various times throughout the week. So, sometimes I'm not available, but for the most part, I am. Like tonight, I'd definitely be available. Tomorrow night, I'm definitely available. This whole weekend, I am, because I don't have my son. But it's like when I have my son, I try not to influence him as far as like the whole God discussion goes. I think that he's way too young to actually.
I think that's admirable. I think that's admirable. My daughter, we didn't really talk about religion too much. She was her grandma, one of her grandmas on her mother's side, was a Catholic. And she liked taking her to Catholic school, and my daughter actually went to a private Catholic school for a while, but I think both me and her mom agreed that she was not getting the education we wanted her to get, and so I let my daughter make all these decisions for herself what she wants to believe. I think my daughter right now, I mean, she believes in ghosts, but I think she's 11, so shit happens, right? And I don't care if she does. Ghosts may exist. I've had some weird shit happen to me, but I'm more concerned about her critical thinking skills when it comes to using math and logic, and she is excellent at that. She thinks flat earthers are the dumbest fucking people on the planet. She's already learning things like box plots and statistics and algebra. She's going into 7th grade, and I'm just so proud of her because she wants to go to UCR, I think, or UCLA, and she has all the money she needs for it in a trust fund. That's why I'm poor, because she got everything, which I'm fine with that. Not a problem. And she's going to have one hell of an education, but on the condition that she maintains, a good average, right? So she knows that she has to learn this shit. So that's I find admirable that let your kids. I don't think you need to indoctrinate them either way, whether you're a theist or an atheist. Let them come to their own decisions. I think they'll be stronger for it. That's just my personal opinion.
Yes.
My niece, when she was little. Sorry, Tony. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Go.
I was just going to say, my niece, who is about to be 8, when she was little, did not believe in such things as Santa Claus, aliens, God, etc. As she's gotten older, nobody ever told her there was or wasn't these things. She's developed her own mind on them. Yeah, in a way, she kind of believes that there's a Santa Claus because she also knows that there isn't. The same with God. She believes that there might be something there, but she doesn't believe in that sky figure that's going to come down and go, granted, or I'm going to fucking punish you.
Yeah, that's kind of where my daughter's at, I think. She because she went to the Catholic thing for a while, and because of her grandma, she's, well, couldn't have God create everything kind of thing. And I'm like, well, maybe we've had our discussions with this, but I don't think she's really given it too much thought. But she never believed in Santa or any of that. The only reason she believes in ghosts because she suffers from sleep paralysis, like I do, like my dad did, and she's learning now that sleep paralysis is just a natural thing of the subconscious, but it's still pretty intense, right? She's not scared of it by any means, but it's intense, and she's wondering if there's more to reality than what we see, and she's getting, has these deep. She's not recognizing they're deep, but she's having these deep existential questions, right?
Those are the best kind of questions.
I think so. I definitely think so.
Well, it lets you know the brains, her brain's developing right. The same with my daughter. I mean, we don't ever really get religious. So it's kind of like me when I was being raised up. It never came up. We'd say what we really thought about it, and that was it. Like,
we're going to have to. Oh, sorry, Tony.
No. That's all I was saying.
We're going to have to get General Han Solo to actually engage with him at some point. I don't know if his mic's working, because like I said, if Gleason wants to have a theistic atheist conversation, I like to see people that actually are articulate and intelligent engage on it, right? And that's why I recommend highly people like General Han Solo, who's one of the most intelligent theists I've ever met in my life. I have the utmost respect for him. His background's in physics. So when people like that talk, when he talks, I actually want to listen to it. Everyone else is like, I think that's most of the case. I mean, don't you think that even the most militant atheists still take pause when General or some of them actually speak?
There's a respect in the knowledge gained. I mean, he spent his life in that life, and he's got a lot to give, and it lets us see how the other side acts or how the other side should act. And doesn't,
The other person would be Matt Slick, who I don't think is obviously have great arguments, but that would just be pure entertainment value. Gleason against Matt Slick. Have you ever talked to him?
No, I haven't talked to Matt Slick. I've seen, I saw Casey's discussion with Slick, and I've seen his show that Bible Thumping Wingnut that he does sometimes with that channel. And I mean I don't know, presuppositional creationists or Christians in general really do kind of get under my nerves, because they'll lobby at you like, oh, God already exists, you have to prove that he doesn't. And it's like, no, you're making the positive claim. I mean, you've got Shock God out there that does the same thing. I don't know. I would guess Nephilim Free is a presuppositionalist, but you got Psi 10.
Nephie's not.
Presuppositional.
He's really not, actually. I wouldn't call Nephie a presupper too much. Nephie is more of a conspiratorial jackass.
Yeah. He's.
I haven't really interacted with Nephilim. That much
lucky you.
So. Special times.
Well, Nephilim Free I haven't really talked to Nephie in several months, and he just decided to make a video about me 2 days ago. Because I had I was a guest on the Geek Room, and they were going to talk about his stupid ass Luna Prokaki theory, and I had told him, I said, me and Nephi go way back, and I'll get him on Skype and see if he wants to come in and join us, and you guys could rip on him, and I think that'd be enjoyable. And I had asked him on G+, I said, hey, Nephi, I just sent you a thing on Skype, you want to come join the Geek Room, blah blah blah. And all he said to me was something like, well, Steve, are you still running me from debates, and you won't debate me? I'm like, no, Nephi, I don't want to debate you. I'll never debate you. This had nothing to do with me debating you. I wanted to get a hold of you because I wanted to see if you come into the Geek Room. And he makes this video saying, Steve lied, and Steve said that I got a hold of him, and I'm stalking him to debate him. And I'm like, I can't do a Nephi accent. Sorry, guys. And I'm like, holy shit. I can't do Nephi. Anybody?
You knew that was going to happen.
Can anybody do Nephi?
No, it's hard to do his voice. It's kind of like he's got jizz in his mouth or something. It's weird.
He needs to do the what is it, the AS, what is it when they whisper in your ear? What do they call that?
Yes.
He needs to do that. I'm telling you, he make a killing. But yeah, he's just a jackass anymore. He actually can't figure out how to get on Google Hangouts. And what happened was, Gleason, is that atheists are the only people that was willing to give a helping hand to Nephi and tell him how to actually figure out how to do it. So they changed over from the old way of doing it, right? And he, in his conspiratorial little brain, that sound is driving me nuts, by the way.
For real.
For real, man. The outside chat is just like all screaming, their ears bleeding.
What is that?
It sounds like it's from another chat that when you leave a message, it notifies you, or on their phone. But it's like vibrate. But Nephi,
it's YouTube and Facebook.
Okay. Now I lost my Tony thread. What was it about Nephi? Somebody refresh my memory.
His voice, and he'd be good at the whisper in your ear thing. You said.
Yeah, no, but after that,
whispers in your ear.
Where the hell was I going with my train of thought? See, I get derailed real easy.
That's all right. He's an idiot.
Oh yeah. The Hangouts. So he, in his conspiratorial mind, thinks that the atheists are trying to sabotage his channel, and so he won't take their help. And the theists have never offered to help him. His little brothers in Christ haven't offered to help him. So the only person he's going to let is Pew Review, I guess. I guess he said he'd take him up on his offer. So hopefully Nephi might be back, and we'll have some golden nuggets from him coming up.
The thing with them, go for it.
Well, I mean, I was just gonna say that I was interacting with Nephilim in the comments, and he said that he was supposed to be looking at his schedule so that he could set me up with a hangout.
Wow. Yeah.
He's gonna have his people call your people.
Yeah.
I'll have my people call your people. We'll get this thing hashed out. Yeah, right. His people is like his doll.
Yeah. How many? Yeah, Gleason, your channel's not that big where you have a secretary yet. No offense. Yeah. 10K is good,
actually,
but
I do have a secretary.
Yeah, but not for your channel.
Well, no. I have a girlfriend. Her name is Caitlin Chloe, and she runs GE with me. Like at least the.
She runs you, man.
Yeah. See, that's how you should do it. You don't need to hire a secretary or admin. You just date them. That way you don't have to pay them.
There you go.
That's a great business model, actually.
Do you know how to type over 100 words a minute? Let's go out.
That's what I do.
Do you look good in a pencil skirt? You're
no,
hired.
I actually have a question to
exactly.
Go ahead.
For anybody who I know most of the people here are on, but for those people who believe in the perfect crap from God, can you explain to me how MS and certain diseases still exist then?
And have no
That goes into the problem of evil. Like I said, General would probably be more than willing to have a discussion on that, but his mic doesn't seem to be working at the moment. I think he's just listening in. But
it's the fall.
Theories. Unfortunately, you or your dad, in their mind, did something bad in the last life or coming up in this life, and that's why it happened.
I mean, I think that's a great discussion for a debate of the problem of evil. I think that's one of the leading arguments against a theistic concept, right? Against a deist concept, it doesn't really hold much water, right? A deist could just say, well, God created everything and they just took off and abandoned everybody. So,
well, I mean, if you get a Christian that's honest about what Scripture says in the Bible, they would have, they'd be able to get around the whole problem of evil. I actually find that to be one of the worst arguments, because you have, I believe it's one verse in Isaiah where God says that he creates the light and dark and all this other shit. So with that, coupled with Job, it kind of shows how God does do these things. But see, the problem that I find most often with current contemporary Christians is that they don't admit that God does bad shit. Like, they just won't admit it because God is good. My favorite line from the God's Not Dead series: God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. That is a mantra right there that summarizes like how Christians rationalize the morality of Yahweh or Jesus.
That just sounds like a variant of the
Euphophro dilemma. He's good all the time. No matter what he does, it's good. So, like, he kills your little brother in a car wreck. Oh, that happened for a reason. He called little Timmy home. No, a random car accident took Timmy out. No need to ascribe a deity or some kind of larger purpose for your little brother.
I'm going to mute some people. I don't know who's got. We got a lot of background noise, so I'm going to. I know. It's obviously, I'm not nothing personal, but I don't know who it is. There's so much background noise. I'm having a hard time hearing John here. So just if you're not talking, just stay muted, because if not, the background noise is killing me. But John, isn't it like a variant of the Euphoro dilemma? And I mean, to some Christians, it's basically God is good because God, God, whatever God does is good, and whatever's good is from God. And I think it's kind of a circular thing, obviously.
Yeah, I believe William Lane Craig uses that, like in discussions on morality. That's how he reasons it. Yeah, I mean, but I think
in my church.
Oh, go ahead, Paul. Oh, hey, Paul. By the way, welcome. I didn't acknowledge you when you came in. It's not like I didn't see you, but I got wrapped up and I forgot. So sorry, my friend. Okay. By the way, do you know John? Have you guys met before?
John and I have collabed.
Have you guys collabed before? Okay, good.
Yeah, and we like all each other's Facebook stuff, so because no one else will.
That's true. I've seen your shit on Facebook. Yeah, it's kind of. No, I'm kidding.
No, I was gonna say is in my church, like we actually practice that. In my church, like the God is good, and then the congregation would say all the time, and and then the pastor would say all the time, God is like it was so ingrained. We practiced it, but at least the church I went to, Mennonite fundamentalist. It wasn't that God did the thing. It was in spite of the thing, God is good. So no matter what shitty thing happens, no matter how terrible, like my cousin's house burned down a couple weeks ago, and she posted that line. God is good all the time. That was how she announced that her house burned down.
But the in spite of things is special pleading, I think. I don't get in spite of all this God is good. That makes no sense to me rationally. Now, if somebody says whatever God does is good, that's a little bit different. That's a different way of saying it. But to say God's good all the time in spite the fact he does evil things or shitty things.
They won't admit that he does bad things. So it's all the fall. It's all, sin came into the world, and the world was perfect, in the Garden of Eden. But despite, the fact that we are the screw-ups, God continues to tolerate us. It's not that he's, they won't admit that, as John said, he'll never admit that God did anything bad.
Well, because their version of deity can't do anything bad.
Right.
By definition. Right. I mean, literally.
So, but so the problem of evil bounces off. Like they're oblivious to the problem of evil.
No, and let me rephrase. I don't think the problem of evil is a problem to theists. I think the problem of evil is just something that, as a skeptic or agnostic or an atheist, I find to be a heavy charge against the concept of certain types of Christian deity, right? I mean, I don't think that a deity can exist where you have all benevolent, all knowing, all judicial. I just don't see all those attributes existing coextensively with each other. I don't know how that would work.
And to actually think that God would waste their time on people like us when there's actually starving, dying people in the world, I'd be mad at them. I was like, why are you dealing with, we got internet, we got computers.
There's no starving Christian children in Africa, Tony.
Oh yeah, I forgot. G-Man already said that. Dang it.
Yeah, according to G-Man.
But anyways, yeah. Why would he waste their time with us? We already have everything going. We're good. I've never even seen a computer before, let alone a lobster dinner.
Go ahead, John.
Well, I was gonna say one of the funniest things whenever it happens, I always laugh. Like I'll actually laugh out loud at it whenever I see it. It's somebody's house is burnt down or their car caught on fire and exploded. Like they'll find like a Bible that is relatively untouched and be like, look, the house fire killed my entire family, but God saved the Bible.
What a shitty ass book.
Like,
oh, dude, you beat me. You beat me to it. I was going to bring up an example of a deadly tornado that killed a whole lot of people and ripped up whole neighborhoods, and then they find a Bible that's untouched, that's open to some page or verse, like, or psalm or something. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Right, or debris in the shape of a cross, like that could never happen.
Yeah, like that's not a very common geometric shape, right? But I do agree with John. I think one of the most duplicitous, disgusting things that I hear, and again, I am an agnostic, so I'm not dogging anybody's faith at all. But when I hear somebody say they're in a better place, I'm like, fuck off. I mean, I understand they want to comfort people, but I'm sorry. And it may work to people that are, if you're a Mennonite, I'm sure that may, when you were, that would work. But if somebody who is an atheist like that, their child dies, and you're trying to comfort them and console them by saying they're in a better place, it's so distasteful and tactless. You need to know how to console people in according to a proper way. And I just find it to be just it irks me. I mean,
well, the bad thing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The bad thing about it is a lot of people just assume that you believe like they do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
They've probably never in their entire life, if they ran into someone that would say, well, let me pray for you or with you. Probably never in their
I don't
entire
mind that. But I don't mind if they say, would you like to pray? I don't mind them saying, I'll pray for you. I think when people say, I'll pray for you, and then everybody turns around and says, well, I'll think for you. I get the mantra, I get the gist behind it, but I have no problem with somebody say, Steve, you know what? You're not feeling well, I'll pray for you. I am touched by it. I don't take that offensively at all, right?
It's
and
like,
I don't think an atheist even should.
Bless you, sneeze, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it comes from a good place, right? They're not trying to be... they're not trying to be evil or a dick or just mean, right? They're trying to be. This is how they show that they are concerned, right? So I got no issue with that. I think the same thing when people say Merry Christmas and somebody would be like, oh no, it's Happy Holidays. Fuck off, it's Christmas. Come on. There's so many other things to worry about. If that's your pet peeve that people call it Christmas. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Steve, but the pray for you thing, I mean, you guys know I got pretty sick shortly after I came out as an atheist, and I got the pray for you thing, but that was in lieu of doing anything. They didn't have to do anything for me. They didn't have to help me. They didn't have to do anything.
Yeah, that's different, right? Covered. That's different. Yeah. I mean, if they say, well, I'm going to pray for you, but I'm not going to even give you any assistance to
right, and
be there for you.
They're going to pray for my health and my soul because clearly my affliction came because
well, you know, Paul, that being an atheist is a disease.
Yeah, that's why I think
it's a disease of the heart. You
let a demon in, Paul.
That's why I think they go. They take it too far, right? Oh, you got sick because you let a demon in or something. Benny Hinn did the same thing, right? With his faith healing, he told people they were cured, and then when they would have a relapse, because they were never cured to begin with, so I don't know if you would even call it a relapse. But when the adrenaline all wore off, all they told him was, well, you know what, your faith was diminished. You lost faith, and that's why you got sick again. I mean, that's just fucking disgusting.
Yeah,
Benny Hinn would anoint you with the breath of life. Let me anoint you.
Go ahead, John.
I'll tell you guys what. Benny Hinn can ask Kent Hovind. God can't protect you from the IRS.
Oh. Yeah, I got to fight, because I'm scheduling these debates with Hovind, right? And the next one's going to be, it is going to be on June 30th, guys, about 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time with KC. It's going to be badass. It's going to be huge. Matter of fact, his secretary just emailed me like 10 minutes ago, and I haven't even read it again. We've been corresponding for several days now. And he said he's going to debate people from the Great Debate community. No problem. He knows that his last video with KC got a shit ton of views. It's a double-edged sword. I do realize this, but I am collecting people, making a list of people that want to debate him. It's going to do probably once a week for the next several months on Fridays.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, awesome. It's going to be a regular thing.
It's going to be on your channel?
It's going to be on my channel. Yeah, that'll be the moderator, man, for all these things.
Finally, all that work, man.
Now he's going to have debates. He's going to have. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Appreciate that. He is going to have debates on his own channel, right? Obviously, but the people of the Great Debate community is going to be a special kind of thing. I know Bill Ludlow, if you guys know him from Facebook. He's a geologist. Yeah, he's really good. He's going to be scheduled. I know General Han Solo wants to do one. I know that. Who else was there?
Wait, how could this be happening? G-Man said that you wouldn't be going anywhere.
Well, I think G-Man's psychic ability and prophecy is right up there with his understanding of evolutionary biology.
The only
makes sense.
thing He-Man has ever said that was true was his real name.
I mean, he's a yeah, he talks himself, right? Yeah, he's a showman. I mean, he just says shit regardless whether he believes it or not, or even cares if it's true or not. I mean, a year ago, yes, he did say that my channel would be going the way of forbidden fruit, and that, you know, I was some kind of militant atheist, which of course I'm not even an atheist, which is kind of strange. But my subscriptions, again, not to compare the cock size, has gone from when he first said that I had, like, I don't know, 200 to 500 subscribers. I'm going to be pushing 2,000 here coming up, and hopefully with shouts out from King Crocoduck, maybe if I can get Pimpmunkx to say something. He's got 15,000 subscribers. Creation Cat I've been talking to for a while. He wants to do something. John here, Paulogia, who only has 2,000. Paulogia, you're going to have 50,000 subscribers one of these days. Trust me on this. I kid you not.
Yeah,
you're going to be the next Logic.
It's well made.
So, I mean, hopefully, if I get 10,000, I'll be ecstatic. I'll have a huge party. What's that, John?
Well,
okay, I just have a quick interjection.
Well, hang on, hang on, Theories. John wanted to say something. I'll get back to you.
Well, I was just gonna say that I'm actually really jealous of Paulogia's like view numbers. Like, I struggled to get like some people to watch my stuff because like the response videos do fairly well. People watch them, but then like when I do more of the intellectual stuff, like the conversations that I have with like Christians or whatnot, like those vastly underperform compared to when I just get on camera and I just start talking about cock all the time. So it's just it's weird.
Dude, I do. It's funny. The videos I like the most, the ones I create, get the least amount of views, and yet they're liked, right? They are liked, but there's nobody. People like the shit talking, right? But the videos I made against Flat Earth, against Orphan Red, those kind of stuff, they're not that popular. It's the shit talking ones I make about G-Men or something, right?
Steve, can I ask John a few questions about his channel?
Absolutely. By the way, before you do though, everybody go subscribe to Godless Engineer if you haven't. We only have about 50 people watching. Usually it's about twice that, but that's okay. It's a slow day today.
Theories was going to say something too. Remember Theories?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll give. Let me finish this. It'll be Paul. I'm gonna let Theories go next. He does have something to say. Then Paul.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and but yeah, I know exactly what you're saying on that. But anyways, go subscribe to him, watch his shit, and like his videos and comment. We have 700 members of the Great Debate community. I know at least half that are active, like very active members, and not everybody knows who he is. Matter of fact, no offense, probably most don't, statistically speaking. But we should be able to at least get him, I don't know, 200, 300 subscribers off this particular, him coming in this video. So let's at least do that for him.
Yeah, that would put me over 10K. So
that's the goal.
Not.
Let's get him over 10K. How about that? So that's gonna be the mission statement for right now. Yeah. You don't think we can do it? We can do it.
Because on Twitter, I was joking with Poisoning the Well because they're close to 10K as well, and so I was like, race to 10K, guys.
Yeah, but they're out at VidCon pimping themselves right now. So,
well, I obviously we have access to Social Blade, so we can tell how your numbers went up after the next day or so. We can check it out for you. All right, Theories, go ahead. What was your thing, and then we'll get back to Paul.
Okay, it's back to the part where you were going on about how after a disaster a Bible has been found. I've heard the same thing said about Ouija boards, and they're like my girlfriend, she's the one with MS, her grandparents have told her, oh, that's just God's design and he has a plan for your life. But on the other hand, I've also heard it the other way where there have been Christians who've walked up atheists that born one way or
special needs,
or that they're or that they've been born or have an ailment that it's because they have a problem with God. Like I said a few God, according to the Bible, has stated he hates evil and is supposed to know everything from beginning to end.
Well, I think he hates sin.
For that,
sin is is more than evil, right?
Right. If you then at that point, why would you create Lucifer knowing
Well, that was part of his plan. But that's part since God couldn't bring sin into the world or do evil. I guess his plan was to create a being that could.
Yes, consigliere.
It would get rid of free choice.
And by the way, let me put a shout out, Vincent. I do got to shout out Vincent Jones, one of my moderators in live chat. He did tell me to look up Godless Engineer a while back, and that's one of the reasons why I was familiar with Godless. And I don't remember exactly recently how everything got connected. Somebody else had invited him to the Great Debate community. But yeah, thank you, Vincent. By the way, he subscribed to you for a very long time, I guess. So you got people that do know you.
Oh yeah, no, that's awesome. I'm sorry, Paul.
What was your question?
No, I was just throwing out the G's the best, but I do have questions. So John, in January you did the big channel change, and that was right around when I started my channel. You switched everything to be for charity based. You went to daily posts. You started the Bible study. You switched to some of these conversations that you were having rather than the reaction videos. So you're 6 months in, and as just a fellow YouTube channel owner, I'm super curious what you've learned, what mistakes, is there anything you changed, what's working for you? You made pretty drastic changes. How's that going?
Well, it's a little difficult at times. Right around that time, like Paul said, I did change up how I was doing things on the channel, and that was mainly because I kind of found that I had a production schedule that I could really do almost daily videos. What I'll do is I'll live stream my stuff on Facebook through my page, and then I'll cut it up later and put it up on the channel. And the discussions and everything aren't exactly new. I used to do an interview series where I would interview atheists from YouTube and just the social sphere in general. And so I just kind of took that a little bit farther, and I started doing discussions with people on the opposite side of things, the camo Christian guy. I did a discussion with him that lasted about 4 or 5 videos, and now I'm doing one with Christian sophistry, and I have a couple more in the pipe. So I don't know. I in my own personal life, I got to a very good situation for me to actually post daily, but also the changes to the YouTube algorithm also kind of prompted me to make those changes, because you have to, it's not that you got to just constantly pump out content. You gotta pump out content that people actually want to watch, and the more videos you have, the more likely you're going to be suggested in the recommended whenever you're watching a video. And for instance, when I did my interview with Cosmic Skeptic, a lot of his subscribers are still finding my videos attached to his videos whenever he watches them. So I'm getting a lot of bleed off subscribers from that particular interview.
I love Cosmic Skeptic.
Just I learned more about the SEO of YouTube, exactly how to tag your videos in order to make sure that they're found in search. Although one thing that kind of works against me and my videos is that they're more evergreen content. They're not have to be happening right now in order for them to watch it and really grasp it. These are videos that people are going to find over time.
Right,
so,
you're a TubeBuddy master.
Are you familiar with vidIQ, John?
Yeah, I had that for a little bit, but the TubeBuddy I found to be is the most helpful, because it'll actually show you the rankings of your tags.
Yeah. And
it really gave me a lot of good insights into how the algorithm actually ranks your videos and gets them in front of people, because I don't know if you guys are subscribed to game theorists at all, but they sometimes will do theories on YouTube. And so basically, and this, I already knew this beforehand, but they just recently put out a video about how the recommended stuff on YouTube is actually put through 2 different neural networks. And those neural networks use machine learning in order to know what the user wants to watch next. So basically, if you beef up your descriptions, you have good searchable titles, and then you tag your video appropriately to where they can be found in search, the same search that you do on your keyboard and trying to find videos is the same search that they use to do the recommended and whatnot. So if you can hone your description, title, and tags, then in the recommended bars or the suggested placements on the homepage, you're more likely to show up in there. And I know that before YouTube had their whole ad apocalypse thing, I was getting heavily suggested, and so I was getting a lot of subscribers. But since they made that change to like basically videos that like to curse and discuss controversial topics, being religion, they've really kind of filtered that out a whole lot more.
I took a big hit on that too.
Yeah.
And I like what you said about parasitical, and I don't mean it derogatory, but it is a parasitical relationship with channels when your things are video, recommended. And it used to be that way. My channel would actually be on the list, of recommended things when people would be going to some of the other channels, because I've had interactions with a lot of big names, and it still does to some degree. But I think you're right, because my channel tags deal with things like atheism, younger creationism, religion, and all that kind of stuff. I don't think it gets the traffic that it probably would have a year or two ago because of the algorithm change. I just don't. So
yeah.
What I think is cool is that I don't even watch TV anymore. Like, everyone that makes the content, it makes it such good quality stuff, and it's got to be difficult. But I don't even watch TV anymore. Like, I just stay on YouTube when I'm looking for entertainment.
Yeah, well, I think you learn more off YouTube. You at least learn something in these hangouts, right?
It's whatever you want. Whatever you want. Like monkeys fucking a football in the middle of a football field, you'll find a video on it. Whatever you want.
I do have what's called the Great Debate Network, and the Great Debate Network are specific channels that we are network where Paul's in our network, and basically all it is just puts a link to the Great Debate, just the community and stuff. And I think that because we're small channels, all of us, Dragnot, Apologia, Dr. Fiona Robertson, Talking Shit Tuesday, Red's Rhetoric. Oh, he's got a pretty decent one. He's got 4,000. But I think that over the next year, I think all of our goal is to be up there at several thousand, and I think it's definitely doable. I mean, my channel's been around for 3 years, but I only started really adding content, a year and a half ago. So
I've been here for about a year, and it's already grown. Like, everyone's grown except for CCP. They don't seem to have grown at all. But
that's kind of funny you mentioned that. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that, because in the last year and a half or so, I've had, I'm now known with PC Myers and Aaron Ra. He even helped me with a debate with, True Empiricism, DPR Jones. So the Clown Car Posse, they're known with a lot of these people, but nobody's ever going to fucking go in their hangouts, right? But anyways, guys, I know Godless Engineer here is on his lunch break, and I know he's definitely on the clock here. So I kind of want to wrap this up, which is kind of fine, because I want to keep this video short so people can actually watch it in its entirety, if that's okay. But John, do you want to kind of wrap this up? Because I'm really thrilled you were able to come in. You kept your promise that you would, and you actually pointed out to me today it was Thursday, because I get one day confused from another. So that was really nice of you. So go ahead.
Well, I do have to say how I like how General Han Solo said that Lee Strobel and WLC are lightweights. That's funny to me, because I know William Lane Craig will not debate anybody that doesn't have a PhD. So you have to have a PhD in order to debate him. And I don't know. I just find that it's funny that he considers WLC to be a lightweit. So
well, I think WLC gets a few things kind of not correct, in my opinion, but I mean, other things I agree with him on. I hate to say it, I'm just going to talk about this for a second, guys, so I'm in my live chat, don't fucking leave on this, because I know you will, especially Apologia. But I do agree with William Craig thing on the presumption of atheism that Anthony Flew has, right? I do believe that atheism is a belief claim, but anyways, we're not going to get into that, Paul. Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But,
love you. Go ahead, John.
I mean, as far as my channel goes and everything like that, I'm really just looking for good debate, for good interaction, and also fun. I try to have fun with videos that we all see come through our news feeds and everything like that. I try to, I try to have fun with them. I try to laugh at them because a lot of the times they're, people just laugh at them in general, laugh at how stupid they are. And I just try to crack jokes.
Well, everybody go subscribe to him. Like I said, anybody who watches this video, most of these videos get about 1,000 views. Some of them more, some of them less, depends. That's a lot of people that may not know your channel that can go sub to you. So hopefully we can get you over that 10K mark, and then once you get more famous, you can return the favor and help us out a little bit. So
oh no, yeah, definitely. I definitely want to help you guys out. I mean, I think that it's a great idea, the Great Debate community here, which I know that you guys have been around for a while, and I want to say it was Brian Stevens maybe that kind of clued me into it, because he was like, when are you going to join the Great Debate community? I'm like,
yeah, I was actually, yeah, he did. He actually posted it in the Great Debate community, and so yeah, and he's a pretty smart dude.
Yeah, and I mean, I've really been wanting to have these kind of discussions and talks, and I think that I could really add to the content. So I know a lot of people aren't going to like my content just because I have a very liberal use of the word fuck and cock, but I just like having fun with it. I mean, me being a Southern boy, I was kind of raised up in that way. Like when you get mad or angry at something, I mean, it just comes out like a sailor. And so I really don't think that that's like a bad way or discredits me at all. Which is what a lot of people like to say. It's a time and a place for it. I mean, Red's rhetoric uses colorful language, right? But he has more subs than most of us, so. Well, yeah, and I mean, you can definitely see that in my videos, because like the response videos that I do to like just random videos on the internet, I have a very liberal use of it. But when I'm actually in a debate or a discussion with somebody, I tend to not like lean that way. Like it's very situational for me. Like if I'm just cutting around, I will definitely throw out, a Jesus sucking cock reference. But in an actual conversation, I'm not gonna just boil somebody down to that. I try to actually.
That's why I love collabing with you, G, because I let my cartoon got to swear on your channel, and he doesn't get to swear on mine, so that was the best. Vincent Jones recommends that we get Poisoning the Well from our next Rum and Coke night. Well, maybe if John here wants to get a hold of Poisoning the Well, they both can come in, and we'll have the most epic Rum and Coke night of all fucking time. Those I can't believe how popular that has become, the Rum and Coke night. I'm actually kind of surprised. It's like, we have all these great guests come in. We'll sit there and talk, epically about, genetics and biology and science and cosmology and King Crocoduck and Fiona, and yet the most popular ones are just shit talking videos. What's wrong with you people? Yeah. Poisoning the Well, that Rum and Coke is like their breakfast. So that's not a party night. That's where they have the first thing they get up. It's funny. All these people are saying in the live chat that they're going over and sub to your channel. By the way, can you see the actual video, John? Are you actually watching it? Yeah. Okay, so you can see the live chat. Okay. All right, so they're actually, some of them have said they're sub to you, but I can't get any of these motherfuckers to actually thumb up my video. You see that though? That tells you the loyalty that they have. They just don't care a shit about my video, but they'll go sub to yours. Oh, I got 7 dislikes in this video. What the fuck? Okay, wait a minute. I got 7 people on the wiki Clown Car Posse thing, so I guess that makes sense, right? They've all come over and thumbs down. Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's probably because it's me. Because there are plenty of people out there that I pull hate from. Hey Brian in the live chat, do you want to write John's bio for him on the wiki link? I think that you might give that a shot, because you said earlier that you might want to add something to the bios. I think the bios so far, by the way, are brilliant. They're funnier than hell. If you guys have not seen some of these things yet, go over and check out the Great Debate Community wiki. I'll put it in the video description after this is over. It's so good, and it's just the beginning. I mean, we've got an amazing amount of work to do, and we only have like right now 3 or 4 people working on it, which is strange. I was expecting at least several dozen people working on it. So come on, people, help out.
because this is going to something going to be in perpetuity here, and these things are freaking hilarious. So maybe we can get Brian to write your bio for you. You know.
Yeah, no, that would be awesome if Brian could. I know I've been interacting with Brian for a while now. I can't remember how long I've been seeing him in my comments, but I really do appreciate him turning me on to.
There's something for your soundboard for you. He appreciates them turning him on. So. Pseudo, you're right. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up.
I'm sorry.
That's okay, man. I wanted to thank Godless Engineer for coming in on his lunch break. If he wants to have something later on, all he's got to do is message me. If he wants to have like a more in detail discussion on these topics with like General Han Solo or other theists or whatever, we can definitely arrange that. I'm free all night tonight. I have a debate tomorrow that I'm moderating with Christian Anarchist and, like I said, Marshall Mathers, not Eminem. But it's going to be really awesome.
How did that happen? Why wasn't my name mentioned?
For what? Tonight or whatever? Because you're smart and you're a theist.
Remember he invited me to talk to him?
Oh, because he wants to engage with people that are articulate theists that can actually try to make some kind of actual argument. I'm stroking your ego, okay? So just mute and just enjoy it. Okay?
No. Anyway, it's okay.
He hasn't listened to the whole thing and then he hears his name. But anyways, I usually give my guests or anybody else the last words, but since I have a guest here, John, go ahead and give us the last word, and I want to end the feed, and we'll call it a day.
All right. I appreciate everybody for checking me out. If you unsubscribe because you can't stand the bullshit, I understand. And I'll end it with what I end all of my videos with. That's stand up and you use your voice.
There you go. Thanks, man. Thanks, John, for coming in. This was a very awesome hangout. I hope it actually surpasses many of my other videos because this was actually something worth listening to, guys. So anyways, take care, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.